from the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth, and now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan.
On your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It's time for game night, getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome inside Golden One Center. It is game night right here on Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer. Kings and Thunder tonight should be a good one here in Sacramento. It kicks off a 6-game homestand for Sacramento. They're going to be home a lot for the holidays. And boy, this could be a really important 6-game stand with the Kings 13-9. They're 7-3 at home. A chance to really earn some home court dominance during the 6-game stand. We'll go through that schedule upcoming here throughout the hour. Henry and I will be with you until 6:30 tonight, getting you ready for Kings Live pregame. Tip tonight again, 7 o'clock. G-Man with the call. That's the good news with all these home games. The bad news is, recapping that road game on Tuesday night in LA, it was not pretty for Sacramento. They ended up losing by 21-19 to 99. The game really wasn't that close. It was 30 points at one point in the third quarter. Tough night for the Kings on the road, and what you hate to talk about in the second night of a back-to-back high flyer.
Yeah, and, we still go over this back-to-back thing. Scott, I'm really wondering, why are we even having a conversation and teams are crying and players are crying over back-to-backs? It's a part of the game.
Yeah.
Every team has, for example, just played a back-to-back, right, against the Clippers.
Yep.
Okay, we played here, played a regular season game.
Yep.
Won. Had to go on the road.
Yep.
I want to say the Kings probably were in L.A. about time L.A. stopped playing. They went to an overtime game.
Yep, played the Trailblazers. Tight game, late. Yep.
Played all of their starters. And, you played the next night. Well, if you look at the Clippers roster, everybody that's on that starting five is pretty much older than everybody on our bench.
Yep.
Right.
Or Hall of Famers, all getting up in age.
Thank you. Up there in age, all of that. And they have every excuse to say, okay, we're tired. We're going to shut it down. We can't win this game.
Yep.
And they come out and thump us by 30.
Yep.
I mean, what's the deal here? If the Clippers can do it, why we can't do it? It's a part of the game, man. You have to find that.
There's no question about it.
You have to find it.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not like you're flying across country or anything like that.
You have to find that.
3 stops or whatever. It's an hour, 2-minute flight into LAX. So,
and if you lose the game, Scott, like I said, we're going to lose games in the NBA.
Sure.
It's not a travesty if you lose. But if you happen to lose, you're going to have to be competitive in these games to where at least you can squeak out a couple if it comes down to the last minute.
Yeah, no doubt. And obviously the Kings didn't shoot it well. Herter was 1 of 8, Fox 5 for 16. But Mike Brown, as you know, focusing more on the defensive performance in that game on Tuesday. The Clippers shot 52.5% from the field. Here was his quote. And again, don't take the quote literally. He doesn't mean it literally, I don't believe. In fact, I'm sure he doesn't. But his quote was, "We've got to fight. We've got to hit somebody in the head. We've got to show some sort of resistance. Our mindset has to be somebody needs to get a stop. If somebody doesn't get a stop, there should be somebody stepping up in somebody's face with some passion to let them know we've got to do better as a team."
That means you got to go out there and you have to play harder.
Yes.
You have to play harder. Mike Brown is looking at his boys saying, you know what, fellas? I've told you time and time again, The road between good and great is going to be hard and it's going to be bumpy. It's not going to be easy. So guess what? Back-to-backs aren't easy to play, but you're going to have to be able to play them if you want to make that jump.
No doubt. So the Kings are 13-9. They're 0-2 against the Clippers. Does it come down to simply the Clippers being a bad matchup for us? I mean, we saw with the Pelicans, of course, we're 0-3 against New Orleans. We don't consider that a great matchup. How about LA?
Matchups at this particular point, Scott, it really don't play into that, if you ask me. Because like I said, you can lose a game, but they're not even competitive. They're not even competitive. So, how can you say a bad matchup? I mean, you're beat out the gate. Mm-hmm. All of those games, by the third quarter, you're down 20 points.
I'm 100% with you. I don't think there's any defense. And it is puzzling because they shot the ball so well on Monday night here, had such emotion in the win against Brooklyn, to not be able to seemingly put out a better effort on Tuesday is a little confounding to me.
Almost every back-to-back has been a question mark in my mind because for some reason we just haven't showed up.
No.
And it's like you have to. It's imperative. If you want to be that team, if you want to be in that elite talk, you have to be able to play in back-to-backs. And we're talking play. We're not talking come out and get beat by 30. You have to come out and play.
No doubt. I think we need to have you do a rant on back-to-backs. I could see it being along the lines of an Allen Iverson talking about practice.
Pretty much. I mean, we played back-to-back, Scott. And
of course you did. And you played in those back-to-backs.
Yes, and played in those back-to-backs. We played back-to-backs back when we flew commercial.
Yes.
Okay? To where you might not get to the game until like 15, 20 minutes before the tip.
Right.
Barely
grab your bags off the rack.
Exactly. Anything could possibly happen. And it's a part of the game. Come on, fellas. Y'all not that old and your legs and bodies aren't that tired. Back-to-back should just be another game.
Yeah, I can't argue with anything you said there. We'll move on from that. Let's talk about the Kings because they've made a move. They have signed Juan Toscano Anderson. It's not official. Mike Brown could not comment on it because it hasn't officially been approved by the league, but we know that it is going to get done. Of course, Juan Toscano Anderson played under Mike Brown at Golden State, was part of one of their championship teams. Mm-hmm. He's been out of the league for a little bit. What do you make of this signing?
I don't. I mean, I'm very curious to where he might fit in. We already have a log jam for playing time. Mm-hmm. So somebody, if you sign him, and understanding you're signing him for a reason.
Yeah.
You're just not trying to give him some money. You're signing him for a reason. It's like, okay, so where is he going to get the playing time? Because he's not a 3. He's more so a 4. And if you play small ball, you might play him a little at the 5.
Yeah. He's 6'6", 210 pounds. He's got a 6'10" wingspan, played 191 games over 4 NBA seasons, spent 3 seasons with the Warriors. Of course, when Mike Brown was there, his lead assistant under Steve Kerr, split time between the Lakers and the Jazz last season. So that's the background on JTA. He's an Oakland native, so from your area, of course, and helped win that 22 championship team. So he does know what it takes to win an NBA championship.
Right. And, it's one of those things where I think he is a high motor guy. I don't think you're going to ever have to worry about him not going out and competing out there on the floor. So I don't think Coach Brown's going to have to worry about that. But like I said, he's 6'6".
Yep.
That's my height.
Yep.
I play shooting guard and small forward. So in this league, is he going to be a legitimate 3 out there? I don't know if he handles the basketball that well to be a small forward.
Yeah.
But I do know he plays 4 well because he grabs the rebound well. He likes to bang. He likes to use his body, and he gets up and down the floor pretty good.
And I think, based on what you just said right there, and if we go back to what Mike Brown said after the loss last night in terms of no defensive presence, nobody showing passion on that side. Well, I think one thing with JTA, you're going to get that. And maybe this is just a little bit of a message signing that this is a type of guy who is going to come in and maybe shake things up a little bit off that bench.
Wow. I mean, like I said, it's very interesting, man. I want to see how Mike Brown is going to be able to utilize him out there on the floor.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see once it is official what Mike Brown has to say. Obviously, his connection to Juan Toscano Anderson playing a part in this, and we'll have to see how it all plays out throughout the upcoming games. Obviously, this game tonight is the second game between the Kings and Thunder. The Kings, talking about defense, may have had one of their best defensive efforts last time against OKC in this building. It was one of the in-season games, and the Kings came out with De'Aaron Fox and took out a team that's currently second in the Western Conference.
Right. They played very good against Oklahoma here. I thought this was going to be a team that was going to be a matchup nightmare for Sacramento because of their length.
Mm-hmm.
Now, understanding that they're not the strongest team, but they're long. So, maybe we need to change our mantra on that, Scott. Instead of saying, strength and size, maybe we need to put size and strength, because the length of OKC definitely didn't bother the Sacramento Kings.
Not at all. The Kings winning that game 105-98. They held one of the most explosive offensive teams to under 100 points. Again, that was without De'Aaron Fox in that game. Herter had a great night. He had 28 points. Murray had 24. Sabonis had a triple-double that night. All things were clicking for them, but it was really the defense that stood out in that game. And certainly with OKC, a team that comes in tonight, they're scoring a lot of points. The last two times out, 138, and they had 134 on Monday night.
I mean, we definitely saw the potential of this young squad when they came here. I honestly thought that Oklahoma just didn't shoot the ball well the last time they were in this building, but we definitely saw the potential, and we've seen, how much firepower they have on that roster. So I can imagine when they get it going and shots are falling, they could probably put up numbers at a very high rate.
Yeah, it's a good team. They're 15-7 right now. And again, they put up 138 in that overtime win over Golden State on Friday before completing the two-game homestand 134-120 victory over the Jazz. They've won 4 of their last 5, and they have one of the great players in the league in SGA.
Oh, man. SGA is getting a whole lot of love from the league right now. And, rightfully so, Scott, he deserves it. He's playing great basketball. When you talk about guards in the West, he is very highly sought after. I mean, right now, if you look in the West, you say, okay, you got Steph. SGA might be the second guy right behind Devin Booker. D-Book might be too, but SGA is right there. I mean, legitimate all-star. I like the way he plays. He never looks like he's out of control. He always looks like he knows where he's going. It doesn't look like he's rushed out there. I mean, he's a legitimate all-star. I give him that. Yeah,
there's no question. First-team All-NBA a season ago, and had 33 last time out in the loss here against Sacramento. Obviously, we'll focus in on him a little bit more throughout this hour. All right, game night is underway from the Golden One Center. Game night is always brought to you by our good friends at Power Business Technology. Experience how the power of family can help you with all your business copier needs. Give them a call today, 1-844-POWER-BZ, or go to powercopiers.com. When we come back, Henry, we've got to get into it. It's our first chance to talk about Draymond Green and what happened in Phoenix on Tuesday night. I know you have a lot to say. We'll talk about all of that when we come back. It's game night right here. Sactown Sports, 1140.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth, and now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan
on your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with installation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice. Does your dog leave frowny piles of poo around the yard? Did you know that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food is made with organic super seaweed and other powerful antioxidants, supporting a healthy digestive system. Real protein is always the first ingredient, plus a blend of essential vitamins and minerals to help support your dog's overall health and well-being. Do their digestion a solid, literally. Find Supreme Source Premium Dog Food at Safeway, Safe Mart, and Winco, or a local grocery store near you. Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Welcome back into game night right here, Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall along with the high flyer, Henry Turner, taking you until 6:30 tonight. It's the final appearance of Oklahoma City here in our capital city. The Thunder, a young, exciting team. Chet Holmgren getting his rookie campaign underway, of course, injured all of last year. What a duo between Holmgren and Wembanyama. We'll focus in on all of that and more, but of course, the biggest story, not just in the NBA, but all of sports this week has been Draymond Green, what happened in Phoenix on Tuesday night, the blow to Nurkic, the ejection, now the indefinite suspension, and who knows what's going to happen with Draymond Green. Henry, I don't know if you'll remember this or not, but we talked about it after the 5-game suspension for choking Rudy Gobert, and I made the comment to you, I don't know if Draymond Green will finish the season because he just seems so unhinged. And we saw him here in Sacramento returning after the 5 games. And what did he do? Of course, he picked up a technical foul. He did that flop that wasn't called. I mean, he was out of control. He had that foul where he was just aggressively defending. He just totally had lost his mind almost again. And that was right after the 5-game suspension. And I'm like, he hasn't learned anything from this. And there was no reason to think he would have, because nothing in his history had ever shown that he had. Now this happens, and who knows how long he's going to be out. But just overall, your take on the whole situation.
Well, when we talked about it last time, Scott, I told you, I said, first of all, Draymond Green isn't going to stop until someone stops him.
Yeah.
And that still hasn't happened.
Yeah.
I said Draymond Green isn't going to stop. He's going to be able to do that as long as the Golden State Warriors and Steve Kerr protects him.
Yeah.
And I did say this. I said, if Draymond keeps up with the antics and they do hang on him for the rest of the year, I said Draymond Green will not be in a Warrior uniform next year.
Yep. You and I are both in agreement with that. And now that the league has gotten involved in this, obviously it's become much more than just the Warrior situation. First of all, when you hear the word indefinite, what kind of timeline do you think that means?
Sure. Have no idea. You know, it depends upon how Draymond Green camps deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they deal with this as, Draymond just being Draymond, I don't think the league is going to go for that. But if they come out with, a type of situation to where, Draymond Green is having problems, his mental health is a little bit off and takes he needs some anger management classes or whatever, he might be able to get himself back into the league before the year is over with. But I definitely think the league is going to let him sit for a while and really think about what he's done. And then, at the end of the day, if Draymond don't get it, Draymond might not be in the league no more.
It's kind of coming down to that point. Now, first of all, Draymond spoke after the game and said that it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. That wasn't believable, was
Come on,
it?
man. I mean, you know what? You're doing yourself more harm than anything.
Yeah.
At this particular point, you're going to have to take some type of accountability and say, hey, I just lost my head. I know it was wrong. I lost my head.
Yep.
And leave it at that.
Yep.
Because, bro, all about I wasn't trying to. He was holding me. I was trying to sell the foul. Nobody's trying to hear that. Get out of here.
It would have been way better to say nothing than to say that.
You know what? Call it what it is. I lost my head, man.
Yeah.
And, it was a very bad reaction on my part.
That would have been much better said, no doubt. Well, it sounds to me like you're thinking it's, some people have said 10 to 12 games, maybe 20 games. Sounds like you're thinking at least on the longer end, perhaps more.
It might be more. And, the one thing, it's going to be a snowball effect with Draymond Green. Because, with him not being out on that floor, the Golden State Warriors are going to take a dive.
Yep.
And then the organization is going to start worrying about, okay, Draymond is not on this floor, and what he does is more of a hindrance to the team than it is for himself. So they're going to have to figure something out.
No doubt. The Warriors are currently 10-13. They're not even in the play-in situation. They're 11th in the Western Conference. There's no reason to think that they're going to be able to move up without Draymond, is there?
No, it's going to be. He's a huge part of what they do.
No doubt.
The way he plays basketball, his basketball IQ, the dude is an NBA player. It's just the dumb stuff that he does on the floor when he gets frustrated.
No doubt. It is a bad situation for the Warriors for sure. Obviously, Klay Thompson hasn't played well. There's lots of things going on there. Klay Thompson was benched in the fourth quarter of their last game.
You know what? I'm not going to break my back from, break my arm by patting myself on the back. But I said at the beginning of the year, Klay will not be in a Golden State Warriors uniform at the end of the year either.
Yep.
He'll be gone because he's not happy with his role there anymore. He's ready to go.
Yep. I'll pat you on the back for that. You don't have to reach back. There you go. Obviously, Steph Curry's still playing at a career best level right now. And Kendrick Perkins, of course, ESPN came out and said, basically, Steph deserves better, and maybe it's time to trade Steph. I don't think that would ever happen. I don't see Steph ever requesting a trade.
Let me tell you this. Steph's going to retire in the Golden State.
I think so, too.
They have given Steph the world, and rightfully so. And, everything Steph has gotten, he has definitely worked for. And at the end of the day, they will probably do everything that they possibly can just to keep Steph around until the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we know Draymond's going to go. Klay's going to go. The one piece that I think that will be highly sought after.
What's that?
Moody.
Oh, no doubt.
Mooney.
Yeah. Oh,
Mooney.
Got it. Yeah, Looney.
Excuse me, Looney.
Yeah,
yes.
Got it.
Yes. Looney will be highly sought after by NBA teams.
Yeah, no doubt. The Kings wouldn't mind having Kayvon Looney, if nothing else, just not to have to play against them.
Let me tell you, he would be highly sought after when they start breaking that team up. And I honestly keep calling it.
Yeah.
I said, this is the Golden State Warriors' last dance.
Yeah.
They are going to definitely disband this team. And he's going to be one of the first ones teams going to be like, okay, we'll take him what you want for him.
Yeah. If you were to pull out your high flyer crystal ball, which I ask you to do from time to time, do you think that this might be the breaking point for Draymond where it finally gets through to him that when he comes back, he might be different?
Doubt it. Draymond's Draymond, man.
Mm-hmm.
He is who he is. I honestly think that, it's kind of like saying, put it this way, for example, it's kind of like saying, did Boogie Cousins ever change his whole career?
Not really. Not on the floor. No.
Stay Boogie Cousins, right?
Yep.
Same thing with Draymond. Draymond is going to stay Draymond. I think the Warriors will get rid of him and he'll go to another team and he'll try to do some of the exact same things that he does. And that team is going to have a very short leash with him. It's going to be the exact same thing as the Boogie Cousins saga. He's going to go to another team. He's going to play well, because he's a good basketball player. But that team is not going to be successful with him doing those antics, and that organization is not going to really hide and cover it the same way the Golden State Warriors did.
No doubt. So far this year, he's missed 8 games to suspension. Injuries are personal reasons, and he's been ejected from 3 more. He's going to miss $153,000 in game payments every game he misses, and it becomes more than 20 games of suspension. It ratchets it up to over 220 a game. And obviously, he's a guy who becomes a free agent too at the end of the year. Would anybody take a stab at him and give him any sort of long-term contract?
Oh, Draymond?
Yeah.
I thought Draymond just got
he got paid, right? He got paid, but I mean, his whole movement was to try and go to LA, right?
Right, because see, he still has 3 more years under that contract, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to check this out. Obviously, Clay is in his final year.
Yeah, he's not a free agent. He's got 3 more years under his contract.
Yeah, they did pay him in the offseason. You are right about that. So
he will be more so out of the league, if anything.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And I don't know what the Warriors do. And just, Steve Kerr, it's a tremendously bad situation for him as well. What do they do just roster-wise to try and make up for it?
Tough. Because I'll tell you what, you're not going to find a guy that's going to do the exact same thing that Draymond Green does. It's not out there. It's not out there. I'm telling you. If you thought it's another guy out there that's going to give you the same output that Draymond Green gives you, you are sorely mistaken. He's on a basketball team already.
Yeah, Green's contract, just to clarify, 4 years, $100 million.
Yeah.
So he definitely is locked up. I think maybe Mike Dunleavy put it the best. They said his ability this year has been great, and he's the new GM. His availability has not, and that's pretty self-apparent right there.
Right.
So just a terrible situation for the league. You have John Morant coming back shortly, and then Draymond Green is going to be out for an indefinite period of time. All right, when we come back, we're going to focus in Milwaukee. Last night was an epic game for the Greek Freak. 64 points, a franchise record high. But the game ball, he doesn't know if he even has it still because the Indiana Pacers may have stolen it. There is a lot going on after that game. We'll get into all of that when we come back. Lots to go around the league as well. We'll get you caught up on all the games last night, all the games that will be going on tonight as well. It is game night, and it's being brought to you by our good friends over at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbofstockton.com. More of game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
5 dealerships, 1 location. The Knight Group is now in Elk Grove with Elk Grove Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, Elk Grove Subaru, Acura, Audi, and Volkswagen. If you're searching to service or shop for a new vehicle, Knight has it. Trucks, SUVs, sports cars, hybrids, EVs, you name it, Knight has it. Over 2,000 new and used vehicles to choose from, and the Knight Group makes it easy with expert financing, quick service, and a simple 2-step process to value your trade-in. So start and end your search at KnightHasIt.com. That's KnightHasIt.com.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, a.k.a. the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Welcome back into game night right here, Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer, Henry Turner. Game night being brought to you by National Garage Door. Call today for your basketball special, 916-638-4554. All right, we go around the league, and obviously the news from last night was Giannis, who just went off a career-high 64, a franchise record 64. And again, we're talking about a franchise that has Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It was Michael Redd, has had the previous record of 57. Giannis ran by that easily. Bucks win that game 140-126, but afterwards, they were trying to get Giannis the game ball. There was an assistant coach for the Pacers who had a little bit of a smile on his face. He was holding the game ball, and he ran back into the Indiana locker room with it. Giannis was not happy about it. He took off after yelling, and some of the Bucks players were trying to hold him back. He went back towards the Indiana locker room. There was no tussle or anything like that. He eventually got a ball back. Giannis in the press conference said he wasn't even sure if it was the game ball. It did not feel like the game ball. He said, I played with the ball for over 35 minutes when I was in there. This doesn't feel to be the same ball. And he just tried to diffuse the situation a little bit. But it got a little ugly in Milwaukee last night. Indiana saying they took the ball because Oscar Tshiebwe, who's the rookie out of Kentucky, scored his first points in the league, and that was their excuse for wanting the game ball.
Oh, man, come on, get out of here. Stop being so petty.
Yeah.
Stop being so petty. This dude just set a league record. Okay, I understand you got a rookie that just scored his first point, but this dude just set a league record, franchise history record.
Yeah.
Give him the ball.
I agree. It's as petty as it can get. And, I guess it was a little bit more. I shouldn't say that nothing happened. There was a little bit of a scuffle. The coach saying that Pacers general manager Chad Buchanan was elbowed in the ribs by one of the Milwaukee players. This is coming from Rick Carlisle.
And
in the tunnel in Milwaukee after the game. You can see the photo that I'm showing you right here.
Okay.
That's Giannis kind of being held back a little bit inside the tunnel.
Okay, is that the GM?
Chad Buchanan, yes.
Is that him?
No. You're looking at Giannis.
Yeah, I'm like,
there.
but you definitely can't see the GM getting the elbow.
No. I'm not saying he was elbowed by Giannis.
Man, what? You know what? This is the NBA, Scott. Why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about the GM got elbowed in a skirmish in the hallway? Come on, man.
It seems ridiculous. Rick Carlisle saying, unfortunate situation, head coach of the Pacers, of course. We don't need the official game ball. There's 2 game balls there. We could have taken the other one, but it didn't need to escalate to that. Really just unfortunate.
It's sad. I mean, that puts a black eye on the league. I mean, you know what? That puts a damper on the whole night, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you did something historic here, and then, Indiana going to be so petty. They're going to take the ball. Man, show some class.
And if you see the assistant coach, too, he is kind of smirking at Giannis.
Right.
He's running back to the tunnel. It's one of those WWE type moves.
Right. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
And nothing said to him?
Not that I'm aware of.
Hey, matter of fact, you're saying Indiana assistant coach. You don't even know his name.
Coach Mike.
You don't even know his name, but we're talking about Giannis. His face is front and center on that picture right there. Come on, man. I mean,
it's a bad look, no doubt. And Giannis deserved that game ball. He did something that's never been done before in a Milwaukee uniform.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. And Oscar Tshiebwe, okay, you got your first points in the NBA, but you did not deserve the game ball for that.
Thank you.
No question about that. You know what's interesting? These 2 teams lock up here in January. Those games are going to be must-watch TV.
Oh, yeah. Now, I will say that. If you look at the overall totality of it, it's going to be fired up. It is building up for a big rivalry in the East.
Yeah, and let me ask you this, just overall. Okay, Draymond getting suspended, not a good look. This what happened in Milwaukee, not a good look. But if we're being honest from an interest standpoint and attention to the league, it doesn't hurt, does it?
Draymond's does.
Yeah.
Draymond's overkill.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? Nobody's trying to hear anything about Draymond anymore, good or bad.
Okay.
you don't even want to hear his name anymore, man, because the things that he's done has been so detrimental to that organization that, nobody's going to come and say, "Ooh, I want to see who Draymond choke out next." No.
Okay. All right. So you think people are just worn out of it? It's been there, done that.
Yes. Now, the Indiana thing, you heard what I said. Piqued my curiosity. Like, oh, they got to lock up again?
Yeah, it's a little bit more big time.
I might watch that one.
Yeah. And it was interesting. Giannis was screaming at Tyrese, too, who was taking the brunt of it. Tyrese wasn't really responsible for it. He was trying to calm down the situation a little bit. So that game will be on in early January. There's no doubt about that.
And the good thing about that, too?
Yeah.
Those are two very good basketball clubs.
They're good basketball clubs, and some of it was they were saying that maybe Milwaukee a little extra intensity because it was Indiana who knocked them out of the in-season tournament.
Right. I mean, Indiana's balling.
Yeah.
We know where Milwaukee is, but Indiana is showing that, hey, you know what? We are this new Jack team, and we're coming.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do. It's all good stuff. All right. Last night in the league, it was just another 40-plus point performance for Embiid, 41-11. They beat the hapless Pistons, who have now lost 21 straight. They're 5 games shy of tying the most consecutive losses in a regular season for any franchise.
Ooh, they're coming up on that quick.
They're coming close. It's coming fast.
We ain't even got the All-Star break yet. You know that's coming.
It is coming.
Oh.
Pelicans beat the Wizards, who are here on Monday night. The Wizards have now lost 18 straight on their own. Ingram went for 40 in that game. We don't talk about it a lot. And Kuzma just signed the new contract. But the Wizards are another team that are going nowhere. Should we start talking about Kyle Kuzma at all?
I like Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
I like
big-time contract, of course.
Yes, huge contract, but in order to do what you need to do in the NBA, you definitely got to spend some money.
You do. All right. Heat beat the Hornets last night, 115-104. Raptors, 135. Hawks, 128. Pascal, 33, 7-7. The Rockets over the Grizz, 117-104. Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., went for 44. In that game, career high 44. That was coming off a 41-point game.
Okay, JJ, I see you.
He's playing, but the Grizz aren't.
Hey, JJ, I'm getting my game together because I know Batman coming back, and I can definitely be a Robin.
Yes, the Grizz are now 6-17.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, Jaw comes back, but they're 6-17.
I mean, definitely got some. They got some making up to do.
I mean, they would have to play at like a 650 pace to get back into it, right?
I mean, it's ways to get back to it. I mean, the play-in gives you a big chance.
Yeah.
If you get it rolling later on in the season, and you hit that play-in and you're playing good basketball, you can manage your way.
All right. We told you the Bucks winning that game 140-126. We went through that. Giannis's numbers: 64 points, 14 rebounds, 4 steals.
Woo!
The Lakers survived without LeBron against a Spurs team that now has also lost 18 straight games.
You know what? We have a lot of good basketball teams in this league.
And we've got some stinkers.
Yes, we got some teams that are really starting to show that, they got some wear on them.
No doubt. And Anthony Davis in that game, 37-10. He's found his mojo since that in-season championship game.
I ain't going to say he found his mojo.
For the moment.
I got to see a couple more games. Maybe.
Okay.
He only been on the court 2 more times.
All right. Webby in that game had 30-13. Are you surprised the Spurs are so terrible, even with Victor Wembanyama?
I didn't think Victor Wembanyama was going to come in and just turn the league around.
Yeah.
So them losing basketball games, that doesn't strike me as being odd.
Yeah.
Them losing that many, because I honestly thought that Pop would be able to find something to where they would be competitive.
Yeah, they're 1-11 at home. I mean, all right, Nets. How about this? They lose here. They go back to Phoenix and they beat the Suns 116-112, and that was with the big 3 all back. Booker played, Bradley Beal or Brad Beal, whatever you call him, he played as well along with Durant, and still the Nets win that game.
Wow, impressive.
That's a big one.
Impressive.
It is, and of course, we always talk about payback games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's not forget who was on that roster for Brooklyn. We're talking about Cam Johnson coming back, Mikal Bridges coming back. They all want to show up and play, and they did.
And and let me ask you this, because I didn't see the game. Is that more so a great win for Brooklyn or a huge letdown for Phoenix?
I think you could call it both, right?
Okay.
In my opinion, I mean, Brooklyn's been playing well. They're 13-10. The Suns are just 13-11. So is it a big-time upset? Probably not. But the fact that the Suns had their big three and at home,
I would say that's more so a huge letdown for Phoenix.
I'd buy that. I cannot disagree with that at all. Nevertheless, good road win for the Nets, who continue to play well. And the Jazz, who will be here on Saturday night, they beat the Knicks 117-113. Markkanen back for the Jazz, so we'll see him on Saturday night. All right, let's look at the games that are going on tonight in the association. Games underway. Celtics leading the Cavs 78-68. Bulls and Heat. Chicago up 73-67. Mavs leading the Timberwolves 30-26. The Timberwolves will be a part of this homestand. They're the last game on the 23rd. Nets and Nuggets tonight. Jazz and Trailblazers. You've got the Warriors and the Clippers. That'll be interesting. Warriors' first game. This whole scenario down in L.A. Clippers playing better.
Yeah, and with no Draymond.
No Draymond.
So, how is life going to be as a Golden State Warrior without Draymond Green?
Yeah, we're going to see. All right, well, the game tonight, of course, we're interested in Thunder and Kings. When we come back, we'll continue to preview this one tonight. A very upstart Oklahoma City team. We'll talk about that and a lot more. Game night, as always, brought to you by our good friends at the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. Especially during this holiday season, there's a lot of kids who are being raised by single parents. They could use an outside mentor. If you have a heart of service, you want to do something good in our community, maybe this is the right cause for you. Find out more about becoming a volunteer mentor. You can call 916-646-9300 or visit bbbs-sac.org to learn more about it. More of Game Night when we come back. Sactown Sports, 1140.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
Okay, but what about the last of the Dodge Chargers and the Challengers?
This month, save up to $5,000 off MSRP and get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs and Challenger GTs with no payments for 90 days.
The savings and financing won't last long. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factor rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699,991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible first responder association only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,000 total net savings after 5,000 dealer discount. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Equals $1,389 per thousand borrow. 10 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
The game night right here, Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall along with the high flyer head returner, Michelle Dapper, in the house tonight.
Dap in the field.
You know, it's a big game when Dap's here, right?
For sure.
Absolutely. She's got it covered over there on Channel 3. Does such a great job with the sports.
Yes, she does.
All right, Kings in Oklahoma City. interesting note here, Mark Dagnott, the youngest coach in the league, he is 0 for 6 here in California. He's 1-10 against the Kings overall.
Wow.
In his 4 seasons.
Not having a good California run, huh?
No, we've had those streaks where the Kings have had awful records against other teams, especially like the Clippers, where they're like 2 and forever or something like that.
Right.
Well, finally, it's reverse fortune tonight. The Kings have had great success against Oklahoma City in the last 4 years, especially here at home. But I tell you what, this is a very good Thunder team. As we know, they're 15-7. They're 7-3 on the road. They're second in the Western Conference right now. They're loaded with young talent, and this team is just a team that's on the rise. It's going to get better and better.
They are a very dangerous ball club, Scott, because they're not a one-trick pony.
Nope.
They have a lot of good players. They play offense, and they play on the defensive side of the ball. They got some lockdown defenders on their team. So, you look at their roster, they say, wow, they are definitely a well-rounded team. They can score and they can play deep.
They can. They're 9-6 in conference games, 8-4 at home, 7-3 on the road. They've won 4 of their last 5. Let's just break it down. We talked about SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We know he is a superstar. Chet Holmgren, his first chance to really play this year. He sat out all year after being.
I like him.
Yeah, tell me, how do you break down his game? And obviously, he gets compared a lot to Wemby. Is that fair or not? Are they similar?
Bro, very.
Okay.
Very similar. And honestly, I think Chet handles the basketball a lot better than Wemby. They're both 7 foot. They're both long guys. They both can score around the 3-point line. I would say Wemby probably is a better facilitator. He might pass the ball a little bit better. But, as far as how they play the game, they're a lot similar.
Yeah, no, they both can shoot from outside. They can get inside. They handle the basketball like they're 6'6". I mean, they're freaks of nature, right? I mean, they're true unicorns.
Definitely freaks, both of them, man. And, and I honestly like Chet's offensive game a little bit better than Wemby. Wemby is long.
Yeah.
He's longer than Chet. But as far as Chet being able to break guys down and really being an offensive nightmare, he's definitely a problem.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, Lou Dort, maybe one of the best defenders in the league.
Got a lockdown defender on your squad. A guy that doesn't mind giving up his body, a guy that's thick, that's strong, that can probably guard anybody from 1 to the 3. That's why I say this basketball team, man, they are very dangerous.
They are extremely dangerous. They're playing very well right now. And let's not forget about Josh Giddey. Obviously, he's got some off-the-court issues. We're not going to get into that here. But on the court, he's a very explosive player.
He's playing good basketball. Like I said, off the court, you got to deal what you got to deal with, bro. Yeah. But he's still on the court. I would say the same thing about Draymond, too, if he was still in the uniform. But, at the end of the day, if you're in uniform, you're playing, you're giving yourself a chance to help your team.
Yeah, no doubt. And then you've got the Jalen Williams combination. Not to confuse them, right? They have 2 players by the name of Jalen Williams. One J-A-L-E-N, the other one J-A-Y-L-I-N. The Jalen Williams L-E-N is having himself a great year, the third-year player out of Santa Clara. He's really developed into a nice player.
Right. You got the J-Dubs on your squad.
You do.
And playing good basketball. I mean, this team here, they definitely is shocking some people this year. We saw it late last year. It was like, OKC is going to be all right when they get their boys off of injury and, get them draft picks going. But we're starting to see right now early on that they're dangerous.
They are dangerous. They're young. And they've got a great cap. I mean, they've got all these players under rookie contracts, so they can make moves. They can go out and do something before the deadline if they found themselves in a position where they thought they could contend. I mean, they are set up for the future.
They are. They definitely are set up for the future. And, led by a great point guard. You have good big men. You have nice long guys coming off the bench. They're set up pretty good.
They are indeed. All right. Having said all that, let's start with the matchups for tonight. Chet Holmgren. Who gets that assignment?
Keegan Murray.
Wow. That's a tough matchup for Keegan, isn't it?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so because of the way he handles the basketball. Size-wise, I think Keegan can deal with him. Strength-wise, I definitely think Keegan can deal with him. The only thing about it is that, Chet handles the basketball very, very well, and he likes to break guys down and get to the basket and then utilizes his length at the rim. So, I think length-wise, Keegan's going to be okay. It's just all about how he's going to be able to stay in front of him when Chet decides to put the ball on the floor.
No doubt. And obviously for OKC, they really don't have anybody who matches up with Sabonis. Well, he had the triple-double last time, and they just don't have that type of player on that roster, really.
They don't have the guy that has the size and the strength for Sabonis. And if Sabonis comes out the exact same way he did the last game, Sabonis came out very, very aggressive, taking the ball to the basket, running the fast break, getting easy shots. So if Sabonis comes out with that same mindset, I think the Kings are going to have a pretty good night.
No doubt. And obviously points in the paint, we talk about it all the time. We'll be tracking that. Points in the paint brought to you by RT Painting, your reliable and trusted painter in the Sacramento market since 1998. The Kings should win that battle tonight, shouldn't they?
You would think, Scott, but the Sacramento Kings lately they've been getting killed at points in the paint. Even when they win basketball games, they've been losing with the points in the paint. They beat Brooklyn, but Brooklyn killed us with points in the paint. Same thing with the Clippers. When the Clippers came here, they torched us with the points in the paint. But the Kings are a three-point shooting team. So if they come out and they are knocking that shot down, the points in the paint really don't make a difference.
That's true. All right. OKC, as we said, they're second in the Western Conference right now. Is this a team that will stay up there the entire year? Do you think they can have a chance to finish in a top 4 spot?
I think they got enough, Scott, and if you look at what they've done so far and how far they've been, the teams they've played, they beat quality basketball teams. So I don't think it's like this is like a,
they're not a fly in the pan.
Yeah, fly in the pan, a shot in the dark type team. I definitely think that, the more they play together, the more comfortable they get, the more dangerous the squad gets.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think is scary. We don't really know what their upside is just yet.
You don't know where the ceiling is for this young team.
Yeah, they're a fun team to watch. There's no question about that. The Kings did handle them here last time in really good fashion and obviously played a great defensive game. They're going to have to do that again. I think the message got through from Mike Brown. We'll see tonight. I would think the defensive intensity, especially based on what happened on Tuesday, would be much higher tonight.
Yeah, they definitely have to come out. Understanding you're going to lose games, okay? And that one was a stinker. But I think more so the Kings are going to have to come out with the mindset of, okay, we're back at home. We're trying to hold down home court. We're trying to be dominant in G1. Let's get back on track.
Yeah, let's get back on track. All right, let's break down the 6-game homestand for Sacramento. As we said, we're going to be spending a lot of time together before Christmas, Henry, you and I. Tonight, it is OKC. Saturday night, they get Utah. Monday, it's the Wizards. And then they're back here on Wednesday as well to take on the Celtics, the Suns on Friday, and the back-to-back with the Timberwolves. What do you make of the next 6 games?
Kings need to be 4-2 if they want to say, okay, this has been a productive 6-game homestand.
Yeah,
4-2.
Okay, I can buy that. And obviously, we can go through game by game, and it doesn't pencil that way. For example, the Wizards were a game the Kings we thought would win last year, but the Wizards came in and blew them out. Although it's a much different roster. That roster got healthy with Porzingis. Yep. It had Bradley Beal,
right?
Kuzma, so you can't compare year to year. But if you look at it, Wizards and Jazz seem to be the 2 most winnable games. Obviously, Celtics will be very tough. Timberwolves are playing well. Suns, you can get them. But 4-2, I think, would be very good. It would put them at 11-5 at home, and that's a pretty decent record.
Well, that's where you want to be when you start talking about dominance on your floor. You want to make sure that every club that walks in this arena understands that they are in for a major dogfight. Don't have clubs coming in saying, okay, well, we're going to rest our guys. And all right, well, we're only going to play certain guys, certain minutes. No, they better come in full throttle, ready to play. Because if you're not, the Kings will run you up out of here.
No doubt. Well, the Kings got to take advantage of the home cooking. And it's nice to have a lot of games home for the holidays. People off, they'll get a chance to see some Kings basketball here.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
All right, Henry. That's going to do it for game night. It's always great to work with you. And
yes,
have
sir.
A great call tonight, my friend.
Yes, sir.
All right. Coming up next, Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross takes this seat. The high flyer stays. The G-Man joins. He will have the call tonight. 7 o'clock tip. Kings and Thunder. Keep it tuned here to Sactown Sports all evening long. We've got you covered. Just keep it there for the next couple of weeks. Lots of Kings home games. We'll have all the coverage for you all throughout